Welcome to Student Engagement in Standards-Based Learning, Section 4.1, Evaluating a Standards-Based Learning Activity. You should now be comfortable with components of the point design model for learning activities. In the previous class sessions, you were told to bring a favorite activity to this class session. Next, you will have an opportunity to evaluate this favorite activity you use in the classroom using point. Please turn to page 116, Evaluating a Standards-Based Learning Activity. At the end of Section 3, you were asked to have your curricular materials so you could reflect on a lesson you currently use. Now, you will complete the entire point template as it relates to your learning activity as it is currently taught. Refer to the following resources to assist you: your laminated QFL process skills card in your course folder, formative assessments on pages 82 through 86, point organized to engage on page 61, 21st century skills card in your course folder, point note adaptations on page 111, point target connections on page 112 and 113. Consistent language and representative tasks on page 73. The template that you need is also in Canvas Modules Section 4.1, Evaluating a Standards-Based Learning Activity. Once your template is complete, highlight the examples of consistent language, content alignment, between the standard and the learning activity description or directions and/or. Highlight the examples of representative tasks, QFL process skills alignment, between the standard and the learning activity description or directions. Do not complete the revision step just yet. That will be our next activity. Once your point template is complete, analyze your point template by answering the prompts on page 117. Revision based on point. Revise your learning activity as necessary. This activity should be completed in Canvas Modules Section 4.1, Revision based on point discussion. When you are finished, upload your revised point template to the discussion area. Please highlight the information that was revised from the original template. Optionally, please respond to a classmate's revised point learning activity in a meaningful way. Please pause the narration until the revised activity is posted to Canvas Modules Section 4.1, Revision based on point. What realizations occurred as you completed the point template and thought about revisions? Did you realize that you needed more engaging elements in your activity? Were you amazed at how many 21st century skills were evident in your activity? Did you realize that sometimes you forget about target connections, and now you see the importance of connecting this activity to the content? Remember, point is a great tool for analyzing the standards-based learning activities you already have in use or those you find and want to use. By using point, you can revise and turn many of your existing activities into engaging standards-based learning activities. Evaluating and revising the standards-based learning activities you already have or ones you find will help maximize the effectiveness of your activities. Based on your point evaluation, you have evaluated the strengths in your learning activity and made revisions as necessary. You will now share your learning activities with one another and give PQP, praise, question, polish feedback. First, we will form grade level groups. Using the lesson submitted in the last activity, revision based on point, please turn to page 118, Learning Activity Share and PQP, where you will find the directions for this activity. Please note the directions have been adapted to fit our remote learning course. You will post your favorite standards-based learning activity in the groups listed in Canvas Modules Section 4.1 Learning Activity Share and PQP. You will also provide feedback to each of your grade level group members by focusing on PQP. Praise. One aspect you liked most about the learning activity. Remember that praise needs to be specific and not superfluous. Question. What's one question you have about the learning activity? Polish. What's one idea you have for the learning activity? How can you use a feedback strategy like PQP with the students in your classroom? Could you use this strategy when you do peer editing? Could you use this strategy when you do science projects to give feedback during the development phase? Could you use PQP during cleanup to give feedback to your students to improve the process? Remember, evaluating and revising the standards-based learning activities you already have or ones you find will help maximize the effectiveness of your activities. Sharing and networking with colleagues is a great way to expand the activities from which you can choose. We gather so many great ideas from one another. Having the opportunity to get feedback from colleagues can be very insightful and helpful. Be sure to receive and give feedback in a positive and generous nature. Working together, we can deliver amazing standards-based learning activities to the students in our classrooms. This concludes standards-based learning activity. Please continue to Modules Section 4.1 Align Target Connections.